been waiting for. Please join me in welcoming the class of 2026 for Northern Essex Community College. time, I ask our Grand Marshal to join me on the stage, please. It is now my pleasure to introduce Northern Essex Community College President, Dr. Lane A. Glenn, and the President's Platform Party.
Good morning. As President of Northern Essex Community College, it is my great pleasure to welcome you to our 64th commencement exercises. Buenos días. Como Presidente de Northern Essex Community College, es un gran placer darles la bienvenida a nuestros 64º ceremonia de graduación. Please be seated. Today's ceremony is being interpreted in American Sign Language by professional interpreters. Additionally, we're excited to have several graduates of our Sign Language Interpreting Certificate program providing support to us. As New England's first designated Hispanic serving institution, we know many of our students today are first-generation Americans, with parents and loved ones eager to celebrate a generational milestone. That's why we're also providing real-time captioning in both Spanish and in English through your smartphone devices. Anybody happen to have a smartphone? Odds are good. The QR code to access that captioning is available in your program. The screen here to my right is displaying captions in English. I'd like to recognize and thank our friends at HC Media who are here providing the live stream for today's ceremony, so family and friends everywhere can join us today. The recording is also going to be archived on NECC's YouTube account, so you can find it there after the ceremony today. Now, if you would please join me in standing once again for the singing of our national anthem by Northern Essex Community College alumna Emily Foriso, class of 2020 of Haverhill. Emily.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there.
Thank you, Emily. Fabulous. You may be seated. Here at Northern Essex, our mission is all about creating vibrant and innovative opportunities that we hope encourage excellence and enhance the cultural and the economic life here in our region. While Northern Essex can create those opportunities, it's all of you, our graduates here today, who get to decide what you do with them. Our faculty and staff members can certainly open some doors. It's you who choose to walk through them. So those of you seated here today about to graduate, it's you who chose to take that early morning or that late night course. It's you who chose to study for that test, to complete that assignment, to write that paper, all on your own, maybe with just a little help from AI. Yes, your professors, your advisors, your coaches, your club sponsors, your family, your friends, your coworkers, they encouraged you all along the way, and you should be grateful to each and every one of them. But you're sitting in that seat and you're wearing that cap and gown today because you saw an opportunity, and you chose to put it to work, and now that opportunity has become your accomplishment. You have put yourself in a stronger position to build better, stronger lives, to have a positive impact on your families and on your communities. And for that, on behalf of all those professors, teachers, and every person who's joining us today, because they care about you, I want to say congratulations. Now tell me, class of 2026, are you ready for your next opportunity? You sound pretty ready to me. Folks in the under the tent here, those cheers represent 807 graduates in the class of 2026 who came from near and far, representing a wide range of communities, ethnicities, languages, cultures, and ages. They represent students like Nicholas Vincelios, who a decade after graduating from high school relocated to Haverhill. At 29 years old, he saw the opportunities created by Mass Reconnect, and he took advantage of that program's offer of free community college. He enrolled at Northern Essex, jumped into campus life where he would eventually be elected president of our Student Government Association. Nicholas now leaves Northern Essex, headed for the Eisenberg School of Management at UMass Amherst, where he's pursuing a bachelor's degree in business administration. Congratulations to Nicholas. And those cheers also represent students like Talon Stratton, who saw the financial practicality of enrolling here at Northern Essex for what he thought would be an environmental science degree. Instead, our business transfer program caught his attention and videography caught his eye. You've probably seen his work. Talon developed a knack for capturing some of the most special moments of our athletics program on camera. His skills honed, he's leaving NECC, headed for the University of South Carolina, to be part of their sports media team. Congratulations, Talon. And they represent students like Shirley Brito Rosario, who emigrated from the Dominican Republic and enrolled in English as a second language classes in 2024. She took the momentum of those courses and the opportunity to become a full-time NECC student majoring in criminal justice. She earned straight A's her first 2 semesters while becoming an integral part of our volleyball team, eventually taking on the role of team captain. Congratulations, Shirley. And those cheers represent students like Joan Shari, whose lived experiences inspired her to be an advocate for students here at Northern Essex and across the Commonwealth. Joan provided a face and a voice to some of the unique obstacles that students can face when trying to achieve an education. Some of you today are here as a result of the path that Joan blazed, and I'm excited to see her own path is going to lead her across this stage today as a graduate with a degree in nursing. Congratulations, Joan. And they also represent students like Sally O'Rourke, a mother, a grandmother, a business owner, a nonprofit leader, and herself a former member of our Northern Essex Board of Trustees. A true pillar in the greater Haverhill and Northern Essex communities, Sally's membership in the class of 2026 is proof positive that no matter what you've achieved in life, Northern Essex continues to provide new opportunities for students of any background, at any age, and with any interest. Congratulations, Sally, and thank you for modeling the way in so many ways. So Shirley, Talon, Nicholas, Joan, Sally, they are just a handful of the stories, and there are a lot more of them under this tent today that make up an amazing library of journeys that each of our graduates have taken to get here. Individuals who saw opportunity, turned that opportunity into action as students, and then students completing the work and earning the distinction of being part of our 64th graduating class. So to them and to all of you, congratulations. I also look out at our audience and I see a lot of smiling faces filled with pride, and after 15 years of leading this college, I say a lot of familiar faces. That's because at NECC we've created opportunities for generations of family members to build better lives with an NECC education. So while today's graduates represent the latest step in our future, they follow in the footsteps of people who've graduated from Northern Essex and then went on to build successful careers, communities, and families. Would everyone in the audience who has ever attended Northern Essex Community College please stand and be recognized? Thank you. Our commitment to you remains just as strong as our commitment to this morning's graduates. As you know, walking across the stage today may represent the end of your chapter as a Northern Essex student. It does not represent the end of being a part of this Northern Essex community. That is lifelong. So my message to today's graduates, as an institution, we're here for you in whatever way we can be as you seek to take your lives to the next level. Because while you may leave here no longer a student, you are always going to be a Northern Essex Community College Knight. Now, one of my favorite parts about today is that following the ceremony, I get to see so many great pictures that you've all taken, posted to social media. For me, one of the most special ones is the picture that I'm about to take, which is perhaps the biggest selfie you've ever seen. So on the count of 3, I need everybody to give a big smile. You ready? 1, 2, 3. You look great. Now, you're going to get to see that picture because after we're finished today, I'm going to post it to my social media accounts with the hashtag NECC2026, and I hope you're going to do the same. Take that as a hint. Take as many photos today as you can, selfies with your friends and your loved ones, all the exciting smiles out there. Post them online, class of 2026, and you might win yourself something special. Share on your favorite media accounts, hashtag NECC2026. You can also tag us at Northern Essex. All those posts that we see through Monday are eligible to win a swag bag of Northern Essex gear. We're going to have prizes for the best grad cap decoration, and there are some very impressive grad cap decorations out there I've noticed this year. The best family photo, the best club student program photo, the best pic with the president, and of course my favorite, the best pic with Winnie. You know Winnie, our comfort dog. She's out roaming the grounds. Grab a picture with Winnie after the ceremony. You can find some more information about this contest in your program or on the Commencement website. So today is about celebration. And this year, graduates, there have been a lot of worthwhile NECC moments to celebrate. This semester, our theater program was recognized with 13 different awards for their production of the Vagina Monologues. Those awards included 4 distinguished performances in a play, which was awarded to Northern Essex students, 2 of whom are members of this graduating class, Miraraja Metcalf and Maggie Evans. Congratulations to them. And it includes the National Alliance Acting Teacher of Excellence for our very own Professor Brienne Beatrice. Congratulations to Professor Beatrice. Outside the classroom and on the court, our men's basketball coach, Darren Stratton, was named National Coach of the Year, the first time any NECC coach has ever received such recognition. Congratulations to Coach Stratton. And of course, our Northern Essex men's basketball team made their mark on college history with their success on the court and clinching the NJCAA Division III National Championship. Congratulations to those guys. It is now my pleasure to introduce to you the dignitaries and the honored guests who've joined us on this special occasion. Please hold your applause until everyone's been introduced. Will the following individuals on the platform please rise as your names are announced? To begin with, on my right, Jennifer Borslow, Chair of the Northern Essex Community College Board of Trustees. To her right, Charlie Baker, the former Governor of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts and President of the National Collegiate Athletic Association. Dr. Allison Dolan Wilson, Vice President of Institutional Advancement and Executive Director of the Northern Essex Foundation. Behind them in the second row is Evan Silverio, Vice Chair of the Northern Essex Community College Board of Trustees. Zoila Gomez Ruiz, member of the Board of Trustees. Juan Yepes, member of the Board of Trustees. Dr. Zandra Kelly, member of our Board of Trustees, and Dr. Stephen Russell, Professor of History, our Faculty Grand Marshal. To my left in the first row is Mike McCarthy, Executive Vice President. Dr. Austin Gilliland, Vice President of Academic Affairs. Maria Cubillas Real-Lejano, our student speaker, who will receive her Associate of Science degree in Criminal Justice, as well as the Intelligence Studies and Law Enforcement certificates today. You can applaud that one real quick. All right, now hold till the end. Dr. Nadine Gonzalez de Jesus, our Vice President of the Lawrence Campus and Community Relations. Dr. Joanne Landers, Vice President of Student Affairs. And behind them in the second row is Joan Hayden Roy, a member of our Board of Trustees. Patty Fernandez, Trustee. Frank Cousins, Trustee. And Melissa Horn, member of our Board of Trustees. Also in the audience are members of my leadership cabinet and a few elected officials I would like to note here with us today. Methuen Mayor DJ Beauregard, State Representative Ryan Hamilton of Methuen, State Representative Frank Moran of Lawrence, and State Representative Francisco Paulino of Lawrence. Thank all of them for being here today. This ceremony is a carefully planned process that is steeped in a lot of tradition, allowing us to celebrate some incredible achievements in all of our graduates. I'd like to thank the faculty and staff who helped organize today as part of the college's commencement committee. Their names are listed in your commencement program. I would ask, though, that our committee co-chairs, Allison Gagne, Jody Carson, and Eric Benavides, and all committee members, please stand and be recognized. Thank all of you for your help here today. And one very special member of our Northern Essex team served for many years on this committee, creating a memorable experience for thousands and thousands of our graduates. She retired last year, although her name tag says happily retired. She's here with us today, actually doing a little bit of work. We feel it would only be appropriate to pause for a moment, recognize and thank our good friend, Cheryl Goodwin. Cheryl, would you please come up on stage? Cheryl began her career at Northern Essex as a student, spent decades working for community colleges in Massachusetts, here and at North Shore. Cheryl, thank you for all of your many contributions. I am excited to introduce our next speaker, a woman who many of us know as AMPA. Maria Cubillas Real-Lejano is our 2026 student commencement speaker, and when you hear her story, you'll understand why. Maria emigrated from El Salvador as a 15-year-old, traveling with her parents and settling in New Jersey. Once there, she took inspiration from her family, working hard inside and outside the classroom. Her dedication led her to earn multiple scholarships for secondary and higher ed opportunities. However, life, as it so often happens, presented some challenges. Despite those challenges, there's a reason that AMPA's friends, when asked to describe her, immediately lead with the word determined, because no challenge was too great to undermine AMPA's determination. Please join me in welcoming our 2026 student commencement speaker, Maria Cubillas Real-Lejano.
Good morning, everyone. Congratulations, class of 2026. I want to see a hooray. Let's go. President Lane Glenn, Northern Essex leadership, members of the Board of Trustees, former Governor Charlie Baker, distinguished faculty, proud families, friends, and my fellow graduates, congratulations. Today, we are celebrating more than a degree. We are celebrating sacrifice, sleepless nights, failures, fear, the moments we wanted to quit, but we didn't. And that is why this moment matters. My name is Maria Cubillas, although many of you know me as AMPA. Today, I stand proud of my Salvadoran heritage, my Latina identity, my immigrant story, and my path as a first-generation college student. And standing here today is something younger me could only have dreamed of. Before anything else, I want to say thank you. Thank you to my family, the Northern Essex Community College, faculty and staff, the PACE program, and President Lane Glenn for giving me the opportunity to stand here in front of you today. This moment means more than words can express. It is a memory that I will always carry in my heart. There was a point in my life when I felt lost, doubted myself, felt invisible, and questioned if I truly belong in college. English was not my first language. There were days I stayed quiet because I was afraid of making mistakes, afraid people would judge me, and afraid I was not enough. But then something changed, believe it or not. People believed in me before I fully believed in myself. A special thank you to the PACE program, Christine Arnold, Jessica Rocker, Christine Carbon, and Ana Cristina Belloda. Also to my professors, Regina Faticanti, Scott Jobber, Paul Kamen, and Fernando Castro. Thank you for your patience, your guidance, and your belief in me. You trusted my progress, even when I struggled to trust myself. Because of your support, your patience, and your guidance, I found my voice. And today, standing in front of all of you as the commencement speaker is proof that belief can change someone's life. That person believing in you can change your entire future. Like many graduates here today, I came to college with dreams. Dreams of building a better future. Dreams of creating opportunities. Dreams of making my family proud. After high school, I received a scholarship to play soccer at another university. I thought my future was already written, but life had another plans. The most important person in my life, my mother, became very sick, and without hesitation, I chose to stay by her side. Losing my mother changed me forever, and not long after, I lost my father too. Suddenly, I had to learn how to live without the support of both of my parents. And if I am honest with you, there were moments when I felt completely broken. Because when you lose your parents, you lose more than people. You lose comfort, you lose guidance, you lose the voices that tell you everything will be okay. And there were nights when I asked myself, how am I supposed to keep going now? But pain has a way of teaching us who we are. And someone in that life, in that silence, I found strength I did not know I had. I found discipline, I found purpose, and I made a decision. I was not going to let pain ruin my story. I was going to turn pain into motivation. Every class, every late night studying, every obstacle, every tear, it became part of the reason I kept going. Because this degree is not just mine, it belongs to my parents too. Even though they're no longer here physically, their love never left me. It lives in my heart, in my decisions, in every step I take forward. My journey at Northern Essex Community College was not easy. Like many of you, I faced exhaustion, stress, self-doubt, and moments where giving up felt easier than continue. But I stayed. Because deep down, I knew I had a purpose. And NEC became more than school to me. It became a home, a place where I felt supported, challenged, inspired, and empowered to grow. My journey at Northern Essex also prepared me mentally, emotionally, and academically for my next chapter. I will be transferring to a 4-year university to pursue my bachelor's degree in criminology and forensics. As I continue working toward my degree of becoming a crime scene investigator. Thank you. And if there is one thing this journey has taught me, it is this: where you start does not define where you finish. During my time at NEC, I was honored to receive the Massachusetts Educational Opportunity Association Scholarship and to be selected as one of only 20 students to represent Northern Essex in Massachusetts for the Keith Sharing Global Leaders Program, where I study at The Hague University in the Netherlands alongside students from across the United States. This opportunity reflects not only my dedication and hard work, but also the support, encouragement, and guidance I have received throughout my educational journey, from Phase 3 of program, Northern Essex, my family, and friends. I am truly grateful for this recognition and excited for the opportunity to continue growing as a person and student. That experience changed my life. I met incredible people. I learned about different cultures and perspectives, and realized that our differences are not weakness, they are our strength. And standing here today, I realized something powerful. Every graduate here has a story. Behind these caps and gowns are full-time jobs, financial struggles, children raised while studying, and battles with anxiety, fear, and loss. But today, we are all here, and that deserves to be celebrated. To my fellow graduates over here, never forget how hard you fought to get here. Never let anyone make you feel small because of where you come. And never stop believing that your dreams matter, because they do. Your story deserves to be told. Your voice deserves to be heard. And you deserve to be here. Let me leave you with this. Your circumstances does not define your future. Your determination does. Dreams don't work unless you do. But when you do, they can change your life. And sometimes the strongest people are the ones who keep going even when no one is there to push them. To the families, their children, and students watching us today, let this moment be proof that dreams are possible. Let this moment be an inspiration. I hope this moment encourages you to keep learning, growing, and chasing the future you deserve. No matter your accent, no matter your background, no matter your struggles, you belong in every room you walk to it. Keep going, keep believing, and never stop chasing your goals. Last but not least, I want to thank my fiancé. Thank you for believing in me, for supporting me, and for being my strength when I needed it most. You have been my motivation, my engine to keep going, and a constant reminder that I am capable of achieving my dreams. Because of your support, I am standing here today. To my family right here, thank you for your unconditional love, your sacrifices, and for always standing by my side. Even during the hardest times, your love has been my foundation and my strength. And to my friends, I hope they're here today. Thank you for your encouragement, your love, and for being there every high and low. You reminded me that I was never alone on this journey. This achievement is not mine, it belongs to all of us. Before I finish, I want to leave you with this message in Spanish. Este discurso representa mi historia como inmigrante salvadoreña latina y estudiante universitaria de primera generación. Habla sobre los sacrificios, las pérdidas, el miedo y los obstáculos que tuve que superar para llegar hasta aquí. También es un mensaje de esperanza y perseverancia para todos los estudiantes y familias. No importa de dónde venimos, nuestro acento o las dificultades que enfrentemos. Si es posible alcanzar nuestros sueños, con esfuerzo, disciplina y con fe en nosotros mismos. Hoy celebramos no solo un título, sino la fuerza de nunca rendirnos. Northern Essex Community College will always have a place in my heart. And today, as we walk across this stage, let us remember, we are not just graduates. We are proof that resilience creates opportunity, that sacrifice creates strength, and those dreams are worth fighting for. Congratulations, class of 2026. We made it. Thank you.
Wow, Maria and her family. Thank you for that inspirational message and for speaking on behalf of this class of 2026. If that doesn't lift you up and send you out here ready for success, nothing will. Fabulous, Maria. Proof positive that determination does create possibility. It is now my pleasure to introduce our featured commencement speaker. Charlie Baker served the Commonwealth of Massachusetts as our governor from 2015 to 2023. In that role, he was an irreplaceable ally and an engaged partner to Northern Essex Community College and to the broader Merrimack Valley. His leadership, as many of you will remember, helped our Greater Lawrence community recover after the terrible Columbia gas disaster and our entire state navigate the COVID-19 pandemic. His strong, stable leadership during times of crisis was admirable, and his value for higher education is what will forever make him our friend and ally here at Northern Essex. He worked to strengthen community colleges by funding workforce training programs, especially in response to the pandemic. He expanded the Mass Grant Plus program to cover tuition for low-income students, and he provided incredible support to early college initiatives, programs that many of you under this tent today have taken advantage of to earn your degrees sooner and less expensively. Now, as if leading an entire state through times of crisis and to new heights of accomplishment were not enough, Governor Baker is now the president of the National Collegiate Athletic Association at a time when college sports, even more than the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, needs his brand of strong and stable leadership. A few weeks ago, during a visit to the Boston College Chief Executives Club, Governor Baker explained how sports can be part of the solution to problems that colleges face today. In particular, he said, people need to think real hard about what they think they can be great at, whatever it might be, and then they need to focus on that. Governor Baker, I'm pleased to share with you that here at Northern Essex, we've taken your words to heart. We've decided to focus on growing an athletics program that provides all the support our student athletes need to be successful on the courts and the fields and in the classroom and in the workplace. By hiring the right leaders with the right mindset over the last 7 years, at a time when many community colleges are reducing or eliminating their athletics programs, we have added new sports, we've doubled the number of student athletes, we've recruited locally, nationally, and internationally, and we now have a top 20 ranked athletics program among 1,100 community colleges across the country. Several nationally ranked teams. And this year, our championship men's basketball team and national champion women's track and field shot putter. Most importantly, they could do some applause for them, absolutely. Most importantly, and there are several people in the audience who contributed to this here today, nearly every one of our athletes maintained their eligibility to play this season thanks to fantastic academic coaching staff, and every one of our graduating athletes today has an offer to transfer and play for a four-year university or to keep playing professionally. So Governor Baker, thank you for all you're doing to make college sports better for all of us. If it ever gets to be too much, you'll have a place with a winning team right here at Northern Essex. Please join me in welcoming your 2026 commencement speaker, former Massachusetts Governor and President of the NCAA, Charlie Baker.
So first of all, I can't believe I have to follow Maria. That's setting the bar very high, Mr. President. I want to start, of course, by congratulating the graduates, but I also want to congratulate and send a shout out to your families, to your coaches, to your faculty, to your administrative staff, and to all those who helped you get here today. And if you want to stand up and wave and say thanks to the members of your families who are here, you help yourself right now. Now, I do love college sports. But I'm not here to talk about that today. We're here to celebrate the success of all of you in the classrooms and on that other playing field we call life. Just out of curiosity, with a show of hands, how many of you were working your way through your school and academic and educational pursuits at the same time? That's kind of what I figured. Bravo to each and every one of you, because the grit, creativity, clock and time management that you've already demonstrated will serve you well for the rest of your life, which is not to say that everything will go according to plan. I graduated from college with a degree in English, thinking that I was going to spend most of my life working as a sports writer, but the universe had other plans. It was 1979, yes, super long time ago. The unemployment rate was 6%, on its way to 11%. Inflation was 13%, the highest number in U.S. post-World War II history, and it was simply not a great time to be looking for a job. Now, I'd written hundreds of sports stories and a bunch of columns under my own name for a variety of newspapers throughout my college years, and I continued to do that after I graduated. But to pay the bills, I was working on a loading dock at a welding supply and bottled gas company, and worked at night tending bar, a place I'd been tending bar at for the previous 5 summers, and maybe once in a while getting a drink for free. After about a year of doing this, I began to realize that the full-time job in sports just simply wasn't going to happen. Long story short, I landed a job putting that English degree to work with a consortium. I was working with state and local governments on an early version of what you would call STEM education for middle school and high school graduates. That is when I fell in love with state and local government, something that might not ever have happened if I'd gotten that job in sports. So, my first observation for all of you is that sometimes things happen for a reason. Over the course of the next 30 years, I went back to school to study healthcare and government, worked for Governors Bill Weld and the late Paul Cellucci, and I loved those guys, and I loved working for them. And then I worked for a medical group, and then ultimately for Harvard Pilgrim, a big nonprofit health plan. And then in the summer of 2009, I decided to run for governor. Turns out that was a lot harder to do than I thought it would be, and I wasn't very good at it. In fact, friends of mine told me after the race, which I lost, that they hated me as a candidate. Some even said they couldn't even bring themselves to vote for me. It was really, honestly, a lot of fun. So, I did something most losing candidates don't do. I went and I talked to the reporters who covered the race and the talking heads who discussed it on TV and radio during the campaign. And I asked them what I did wrong. They had a lot to say. And a lot, I mean like a lot. And it was, and a lot of it was painful and humiliating, but it was also informative. The best line came from a friend of mine who said you spent too much time with your customers and not enough time with your prospects, which in political terms translates into you campaigned where you knew you were going to win and didn't try very hard to win the votes of those you didn't already have. And the worst part of all these conversations, I knew they were right. It's good to have friends and colleagues who are willing to tell you what they think, even when they know it's hard for you to hear. Now, my wife Lauren and I talked about running again in the next election for a couple of years after that first loss. Eventually, we decided that I was already a political loser, so there's no place to go but up. And we learned a lot from that first race that we wanted to put to work in the second one. That's exactly what we did when I ran in 2014. We both campaigned in places I was destined to lose, and we learned a lot. Different life experiences, different views about the future, different priorities for state and local governments. And while we chased what we called 100% of the vote, it clearly made me a much better candidate and in the end, a much better person. And after we won, no question, a much better governor. Now, some people, God, my mom would have loved that. Now, some people said I should have just waited until 2014 to run the first time when I wouldn't have had to run against an incumbent. It would have been an open seat. It would have been an easier race. Perhaps, but I actually think that if I didn't run and lose in 2010 and go through the process of learning all that I did wrong and what I could have done better in that first race, I think I would have lost in 2014. Because 2010, despite the pain of the follow-up, made me a better candidate in 2014, and the race that we ran made me a better governor. I also think we won in 2018 because of the way we chose to operate once we took office, and that also had a lot to do with what I learned in the aftermath of my massive fail in 2010. My message there, I think, is a pretty simple one. Don't be afraid to fail. Don't ever be afraid to stretch yourselves. Growth often comes from failure and adversity. Getting comfortable with being uncomfortable is one of the best gifts you can give yourself, your family, your friends, and your colleagues. Be humble and honest enough to learn from your mistakes, suck it up, and put what you've learned to work. Which brings me to point number 2. You will be and you are the company you keep. If you take nothing else away from my comments today, other than the fact that I'm following Maria over there, take this. My life's been made possible by the people I've been lucky enough to surround myself with, and yours will be too. My wife, Lauren, is the brightest light in my life. Her presence, our children, the friends and neighbors and coworkers we've been blessed to get to know. Their company has made the dark days lighter and the great days unforgettable. Okay, point number 3. Adversity doesn't build character, it reveals it. No one tells anybody this when they're young, but you're old enough to hear it now. Everyone in life gets bruised and scarred. It's impossible to avoid it. Humans are imperfect, and our lives are imperfect. I have cuts, bruises, and scars from all kinds of moments, circumstances, and incidents that just went sideways. Some of those wounds were self-inflicted, probably lessons I needed to learn, and I learned them the hard way. But most of them were just car crashes that can only be described as random and maybe even unfair. They just are, and they will be, and they will happen to you. That's why the company you keep will be so important. When life punched me in the gut, knocked me down, and dared me to get back up, it was the company I kept that helped me through it. I pray the same will be true for you. That family, friends, coworkers, and neighbors will all stand by you, support you, and give you the sounding board, the love, the honesty, and as hard as that might be sometimes, the truth about your life, your circumstance, and your opportunities for growth, and the hugs that you'll need to find the best in you when stuff goes wrong. But they can't do it all by themselves. You need to show up, listen, learn, be humble in the moment, and accept responsibility. Make adjustments, even if they're hard, because the best advice I've ever gotten has come from people who were telling me something I didn't want to hear. And they knew I didn't want to hear it, but they said it anyway. Make those kinds of people part of your life, and you'll be better for it. Now, last but not least, point number 4, life is a journey, not a destination. My dad's parents were happily married for 49 years. They met at a field hospital near Verdun, France during World War I. He was a soldier from New York City, and she was a Red Cross nurse from Newburyport, Massachusetts. They fell in love, and after they got back to the States, they wrote a lot of letters to each other. You all remember what letters are, right? No long-distance phone calls back then, no social media, nothing. That's how people communicated across long distances in the 1920s. After about a year of exchanging letters, my grandfather wrote my grandmother a letter and asked her to marry him. She wrote back and said no. That was adversity. She said they were too old to get married. They were both in their 30s. She'd gone to Smith College and he'd never gone to college. She had a good job and a ton of family in the Newburyport area, and he didn't appear to have much of either in New York City. It just wouldn't work, she said. Now, years later, my dad said that he thinks that his mom's father wrote that letter, not his mom. Because shortly after that, while my grandfather was heartbroken when he got that letter, he got another one from my grandmother. Is the offer still open, she asked. He wrote back immediately and said, of course. Turns out, she was going to defy her father, followed her heart, married my grandfather, and moved to New York City. They raised 3 amazing children, including my dad, and my grandfather worked at various jobs at that men's clothing store until he retired. Now, sadly, he got very sick in his mid-60s. He had crippling physical ailments, and he lost his sight. So he and my grandmother moved to Newburyport, where they had plenty of family, including ours, to help them out. That was actually good news for me, because I got to spend long days sitting with my grandfather on the couch in their living room, listening to the Boston Red Sox on his transistor radio. Now, watching a baseball game on the radio, which is what you're doing when you're sitting with someone who's blind, taught me a lot about how to focus on something. And he had an answer for every question I ever asked him. I just loved the guy. I worshiped him in some ways. So sick, and he never, ever complained. Tough as a steel bar, and with a hug that would break your back. My dad used to say that his mom and dad really were an odd couple. If they hadn't met in Europe during the war, there's no way they would have ever found each other. But they were crazy about each other and both thought they'd won the lottery when they found each other. Their journey was nothing like anything either of them could have ever imagined, and they both had to break a few rules along the way. And they played the good days and the bad ones with equal amounts of humor and grace. It was the journey neither of them ever could have anticipated, but it turned out, despite the challenges, to be everything they ever could have hoped for. Because sometimes things happen for a reason, the two of them meeting themselves in that very strange place in France in the middle of a war. It's because of the company that you keep. She and he did a beautiful job of bucking each other up through the good days and the bad ones. And because adversity doesn't build character, it reveals it. And in those two, it happened over and over and over again. And finally, their life was in fact a journey and not a destination. I really do hope and pray that your lives and your journey are as rich and as full of surprises, love, and happiness as theirs. But you're proof positive today by all you've accomplished that you're ready for it. God bless and good luck.
Governor, thank you for those inspirational words. If we are indeed the company that we keep, we are all in very good company with you here today. We have a special gift. This, I will tell you, is a special commemorative T-shirt from our national championship men's basketball team. And this, Governor, is a special jersey from our men's basketball team with a number that you might remember.
That's my number when I was in college.
So thank you, sir, for those inspirational words and for joining us here to celebrate our graduates today. It is now my great pleasure to announce the 8th Annual Social Justice Award here at Northern Essex. This award recognizes individuals, groups, departments, or initiatives at the college that promote values such as a commitment to equity and diversity or the advancement of human rights and social justice. In honor of the year the college was founded, the Social Justice Award comes with a cash prize of $1,961 the recipient can use in advancing social justice initiatives here at the college. We received a number of nominations for this year's recipient of the Social Justice Award, and as it happens, he's already seated up here with us on the stage. Our 2026 honoree is today's faculty marshal, Dr. Stephen Russell, Professor of History. Dr. Russell, you have modeled what it means to integrate diverse perspectives, foster critical thinking, and create spaces where students can engage meaningfully with complex topics. Your colleagues and students alike commend you for creating spaces where differing perspectives are heard, civil discourse is practiced, and students are empowered to ask courageous questions. To quote one of his nominators, Dr. Russell fosters an environment where questions are always accepted and learning is truly supported. Dr. Russell, thank you, especially now, for demonstrating strong civic leadership, engagement, and commitment to democratic principles. It's a great honor for me to bestow Dr. Stephen Russell with this 2026 Northern Essex Community College Social Justice Award. Today's graduates are here in part because of the guidance and education provided by our distinguished faculty. As part of this year's ceremony, Northern Essex would like to recognize a few members of that faculty who are going to be provided with the honorary title of Professor Emeritus. At Northern Essex, the rank of Emeritus celebrates and honors sustained excellence in performance, character, and meritorious service to the college. Today we have 3 very deserving women receiving this honor. First, Patricia Willett served our student community for over 3 decades, working in the radiologic technology program from 1992 to 2022, and serving as an adjunct faculty member with our computer and information science program from 2016 to 2025. During that time, Professor Willett spent 10 years as chair of the college's Academic Affairs Committee, while repeatedly serving on the board of directors of the Massachusetts Society of Radiologic Technologists, including serving 2 terms as the Society's president. In 2016, the National Institute for Staff and Organizational Development recognized Professor Willett with their Excellence Award. That same year, she was presented with the Oliver E. Merrill Lecture Award from the Massachusetts Society of Radiologic Technologists. In 2023, MSRT again recognized her, this time with the Florence Wakefield Award. It is my pleasure to recognize Professor Willett with yet another honor, Professor Emerita of Health Professions. Congratulations to Professor Willett. While Professor Willett could not join us here today, our next recipient is with us, and I will ask her to please start to work her way up to the stage with me. Professor Judith Pollock Champy spent over a quarter century as part of the Northern Essex Community College faculty. A distinguished professor and mentor to countless students over that time, she came to Northern Essex having already built a successful legal career, which included a time as New England Law Review's managing editor. In 2012, the National Institute for Staff and Organizational Development recognized Professor Champy with their Excellence Award. Professor Champy was again honored with this distinction in 2019. This consistency is no surprise to the many of us who know her, as she regularly involved herself in school activities that elevated our faculty, students, and mission. Just as she has long elevated Northern Essex, it is now my pleasure to elevate Professor Champy as Professor Emerita of Business and Professional Studies. In 1969, a young woman graduated from Northern Essex Community College with an Associate in Arts degree. 5 years later, Pamela Donahue would return to Northern Essex as a professor, and she would spend the next 51 years of her life molding the minds of students, representing an unparalleled commitment to this institution. During her career, she's received a number of well-earned recognitions. The National Institute for Staff and Organizational Development Excellence Award in 1999, the Making a Difference Award in 2012, 50th anniversary of Northern Essex, and in 2025, being named Advisor Emeritus for Alpha Beta Gamma Business Honor Society and the College Chair Award Business Division. Professor Donahue is part of the long history of Northern Essex Community College and helped create the college as we know it today. I proudly recognize her as Professor Emerita of Business and Professional Studies. I now invite alumnus Marisa Carrasquillo, class of 2018 and member of the Northern Essex Alumni Board, to the lectern to introduce our 2026 Outstanding Graduating Student Award. Marisa.
Good afternoon, buenas tardes. Un poquito más alto. Buenas tardes, good afternoon, a little louder. President Lane, members of the Board of Trustees, faculty, and staff, honored guests, proud families and friends, and most importantly, the incredible class of 2026. Congratulations on reaching this important milestone. Commencement is more than a ceremony. It's a celebration of resilience, hard work, sacrifice, and the many journeys that brought us each graduate here to this moment. It is my pleasure to announce the 2026 recipient of the NECC Outstanding Student Award. The Outstanding Student Award is granted annually to a graduating student of Northern Essex who has exemplified an extraordinary commitment to academic achievement and involvement with campus and community service activities. This year we honor, and I am honored, and the alumni that are here, we are all honored to recognize a highly achieving graduate who truly embodies what it means to be an NECC Knight. A first-generation college student, she has maintained a near perfect GPA throughout her full-time academic career, all while working more than 50 hours per week. You heard that right, 50 hours, 50. All while managing caretaking responsibilities at home and serving as a top rebounder on the women's basketball team. If that weren't enough, she is also an active and valued member of the NECC Pathways to Academics and Career and Excellence, the PACE program, and a participant in many programs throughout campus, including the athletic department's activities and academic coaching. Upon graduating today, our honoree plans to advance her academic career at a 4-year college where we know she will continue to excel in the classroom and beyond. She has been lauded invariably by faculty and staff her exceptional scholastic achievements, her athleticism, her ambition, and we look forward to watching her continue to inspire others for years to come. It is my honor to present to you our 2026 Outstanding Graduate Student Award recipient. Please welcome me in congratulating Rebecca Heathman.
Thank you, Marisa, and congratulations to Rebecca. You are both poised for amazing things. Enjoy this honor. It is certainly well-deserved. I would now like to invite Dr. Austin Gilliland, Vice President of Academic Affairs, to join me at the podium for the awarding of the degrees.
On behalf of the faculty and staff, it is my distinct honor to introduce the part of the ceremony that you have all been waiting for. You've worked extremely hard and are very deserving of the degrees and certificates that are about to be conferred. Chair Borislow, the faculty have certified that today's graduates have met all of the requirements for their degrees and certificates. And with that, it is my very great pleasure to present the class of 2026.
Okay, everyone, this is your time. Would the candidates please rise? Let's go. The Board of Trustees, in accordance with the recommendation of the faculty and the president of Northern Essex Community College, and with the authority conferred by the Department of Higher Education of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, hereby award degrees in Associates of Art, Associates in Science, Associates in Applied Science, and the appropriate certificates to the graduates of the class of 2026. Please join me in congratulating and wishing all of our graduates well.
Thank you, Dr. Gilliland. Thank you, Chair Borislow. I would now like to welcome two members of our faculty who will announce each graduate for their diplomas. Elisa Bucari, Music Program Coordinator, and Arnaldo Robles Reyes, Spanish Program Coordinator. Professor Bucari and Professor Robles Reyes, you may begin the announcements of our graduates.
Maria A. Cubias Regaleno, high honors. Nancy M. Evans, high honors. Diana N. Ticolas Prado, high honors. Haley Clogston, honors. Mia C. Hildonen, high honors. Kelly Cave, high honors. Joellen G. Crandell, honors. Gianna L. Guerra, honors. Kaisha E. Santiago, high honors. Brandon L. Vasquez, honors. Noah Castine, high honors. Daenerys Garcia. Annie G. Heredia, honors. Olesia Serbov, high honors. Michelle A. Yu, high honors. Sasha B. Erickson. Zolamar Gonzalez, honors. Amy M. Marticchio, honors. Jennifer A. Peño Jorge, honors. Annalie Reyes, honors. Ana Ye Sanch, honors. Nicholas J. Vint Zelios, high honors. Mia L. Capilano, high honors. Julia R. Corso, high honors. Alexis J. Coutier. Abigail Huard, high honors. Heidi Kunze, high honors. Catherine D. Barquero, honors.
Gamarielis Cancel Soto. Edelim M. Carpio del Rosario, altos honores. Charleni A. Correa. Yaneli Cruz, altos honores. Samuel De Silva, honors. Ulicia J. Díaz Arias, honores. Evangelist V. Demopoulos. Matthew William Eleftherio, high honors. Adrián Francisco González, honores. Liriani I. German. Nicholas Gilmore, high honors. Elisa R. Given. Rafael A. Gómez Vicente, altos honores. Cynthia H. Goritz, high honors. Jenny Elisa Green, honors. Kelvin Grullon. Jaden C. Hong, honors. Melanie M. Infante, altos honores. Joseph Jimeno, honors. Lauren E. Keenan, high honors. Ángel López, altos honores. Jason Marínez. Kaylin A. Mateo, honores. Mackenzie Moyes, honors. Leofani Reynoso, honores. Jonathan Jenkins, honors.
Yulisa G. Maza, honors. Natasha Perez, high honors. Aram J. Uzunin, high honors. Jeffrey W. Rice, high honors. Amanda L. Ruiz, high honors. Christian R. Sanders. Sarah Silva, honors. Talan J. Stratton, honors. Daviana C. Velez. Ashley N. Barika Brown, honors. Brian Bowden. Cheryl E. Brito Rosario, high honors. Osiris A. Mojica, honors. Jose Rodriguez Osaria, honors. Luis D. Vargas. Rachel B. Giamasi, high honors. Cassie V. Lee, honors. Felicia H. Lewis, high honors. Emmy L. Shaw, high honors. Pamela J. Von Kahl, high honors. Daniel J. Leverone, honors. Rethiel Moskovitz, high honors. Tessa L. Roberts, high honors. Alexa M. Morales, honors. Erica N. Gullion Perez, honors. Nalisha M. Martinez, honors.
Autumn Silva. Faith S. Santos Haddock. Providencia T. Collin. Rosanna E. Paginelli, honors. Tiffany Machad, high honors. John J. McKella, honors. Emma J. Boyd, honors. Arlette Eli Enriquez, honores. Adarilis Figueroa, altos honores. Marisol González, honores. Aracelis Escalera. Anna Hogvin, high honors. Runel Mejia. Rocío E. Rivera, altos honores. Lisa Sarah Jeffzik. Christina L. Modine, honors. Emily Santana. Maria J. Perez. Megan Claire Sullivan.
Albie J. Cameron, honors.
Nancy Estrell, honores. Judalyn Clairville, honors. Zachary Buffam. Aneris J. Fernandez Reyes. Limari Medina, honores. Anna M. Harris, honors. Lawrence Kennedy, honors.
Lucas A. Appel, high honors. Rosalina Mercedes Perez, honors. Sophia Bouzid, high honors. Ariana E. Acevedo, honors. Amy Melania Casilla de Mañana, high honors. Stephanie Cepeda. Juliana M. Cruz. Elisa L. Delgado, honors. Alana F. Mendoza, high honors. Margarita Ruiz, high honors. Nadine Kayamit, high honors. Jordan J. Curcio, honors. Jenilyn R. LaRock, honors. Rosemary Ferreira. Liam H. McGuire, high honors. Leksha X. Tavares. Luis A. Torres. Gavin A. Taynor, honors. Michael Villeman, honors. Nablage Adar Mola, honors. Jonas J. Beauvoir, high honors. Amber L. Byron, high honors. Caleb Bradish, honors. Kayla E. Caceres, honors. Katarina M. Kamara.
Chloe J. Capra, high honors. Jemima M. Chegg, honors. Amber E. Comeyas. Karen M. Davidson, high honors. Jennifer K. Di Antonio, high honors. Cassandra Ellie, honors. Laurie J. Farrell, honors. Rihanna T. Glavin, honors. Jamie L. Gonzalez, honores. Delphine W. Camotho, high honors. Catherine E. Keller, honors. Kainak Nambuya Kivombi, high honors. Olivia Brooke Knowlton, high honors. Carmen Lilocker, honors. Leslie M. Lopez, altos honores. Amanda I. Lind, honors. Alexis E. Luce, high honors. Kara L. Meads, honors. Elisa L. Michaels. Victoria Manin, honors. Courtney J. Morris, honors. Simba Masiiwa, high honors. Bushra Namirimu, high honors. Uyen H. Guan, honors. Karen Poo, honors.
Erica C. Reiki, high honors. Malta E. Rios. Sonia Roam Baez, honors. Melissa F. Russler, honors. Joan R. Shari, honors. Sierra R. Sousa, honors. Tara Stansfield, honors. Danielle A. Stratoti, high honors. Alexis Marie Suero, high honors. Caitlin Silva, high honors. Lynette M. Tinio. Taylor N. Webster, honors. Miracle K. Williams, honors. Samantha M. Wilson, high honors. Hannah Altman, high honors. Elise J. Bengston, honors. Jacqueline J. Byron, high honors. Jacqueline Joe Bishop, high honors. Annabella Brandolini, high honors. Erin M. Lowy, high honors. Carmel Lotzi, high honors. Sam R. Mayetta, honors. Miranda Mugford. Adriana A. Rivera. Isabella M. Rossetti, high honors.
Uleshka Samuel, honors. Samaya Dakota Tapa, high honors. Kiana L. Christensen, high honors. Francisco J. Jimenez, altos honores. Zari A. López, altos honores. Jasmine G. Maloney, high honors. Guarnibel Martínez Villa, altos honores. Xavier E. Matías, honores. Quasi Daniel Mayambueb, honors. Steven Nunes, high honors. Karina C. Pérez, altos honores. Brandon J. Quiroz, altos honores. Brittany A. Vaines, honors. Merlis L. Acosta Hernández, honores. Elba I. Mercedes, altos honores. Janarius Davis.
Geneva Garcia.
Yanalis Inoa. Adalis B. Balbuena, honores.
Jenny C. Bano, honors. Hilda M. Batista Trinidad, honors. Jocelyn Carpeo D. Martinez, honors. Matthew H. Geary. Clara Angel Guzman Rojas, honors. Karina Mora. Julissa R. Pena. Rebecca E. Scott, honors. Evaliz M. Sullivan, high honors. Kristen M. Vasquez, honors. Michaela S. Cole, honors. Allison R. Daly, high honors. Juliana R. De Castro, honors. Caitlin M. Degnan, honors. Dismary De La Cruz, honors. Deborah K. Gustave, honors. Wendy F. Jean Antonio. Noemi John, high honors. Rochelle M. Medina, honors. Destiny Noel Saint, high honors. Karen A. Ortiz, honors. Cynthia Pantaleon Pena, honors. Sophia L. Ricker, high honors. Jennifer R. Sanchez. Maria D. Ark, high honors.
Catherine Asona Sofak, high honors. Yana L. Díaz de Estrada, honores. Jennifer Guzman. Nicole A. Hardy, high honors. Brianna P. Houlihan, honors. Faniulka Jimenez, honores. Alicia L. Malfatti, honors. Christian M. Prince, high honors. Lucinelvi N. Rodriguez, altos honores. Maylene Spencer, high honors. Amy Adama Turi Brown, high honors. Megan A. Waddington, honors. Eva X. Carias, honores. Yasniri J. Castillo, altos honores. Damna de Jesús, honores. Emily Ferreira, altos honores. Hillary C. Foe, honors. Marcela A. Muñoz, honores. Marta E. Núñez, honores. Franny Pena, honores. Zunkenalis Rosario, honores. Benafsha Tashi, high honors. Juliana Vázquez, altos honores. Haley A. Woodsum, honors. Kaylin A. Harris.
Maria Lopez, honors. Jordana Mariana Macias, honors. Nisha Martinez, honors. Emilis Ramos, high honors. Gigi A. Velasquez, high honors. Lisa R. Whitaker. Flavia S. Mukasa, honors. Astrid K. Ramirez Romero, honors. Eleanor T. Nalubiri, honors. Ghislaine Antari, high honors. Juliana R. DeCaro, high honors. Martha E. Hernandez, high honors. Brittany L. Hicks, high honors. Scott Leviske, high honors. Lisani R. Martinez, high honors. Leslie Ann Nunez Million, honors. Matthew R. Branscombe. Esteban Ceballo. Ruthie Apple, honors. Ashley R. Garcia. Moses M. McGeezy. Kevin K. Adu, honors. Jeremy Baker, honors. Rebecca A. Heathman, high honors. Meredith S. Hinchy, honors.
Isaiah Ircatua Rivera, honores. Bailey J. Oreo. Sally L. O'Rourke, honors. Mikhail Tago, honors.
Hina N. Atwell, high honors. Cheryl O. Lopez. Jacob N. McLean, honors. Aiden C. Royer, honors. Sierra J. Townsend, high honors.
Brianna G. Bartels. Rona R. Burrows. Kieran Davis, high honors. Julio de Leon, honores. Christopher S. Dube, high honors. David A. Flores, honores. Amy E. Fleury. Mary Hapwood. Diana Pantaleon Reynoso. Erika Padilla Camilo, altos honores. Isabella V. Gorman, high honors. Jessica Hubert, honors. Yeselin G. Rodríguez Ventura, altos honores. Ariana López. Melissa Silvestre, honores. Adriani Taveras Pena.
Justin O. Olivance. Iris M. Cruz, honors. Ellie Nora Scott, high honors. Maraja S. Metcalf, high honors. Oscar Sutlu. Ryan Duffy, honors. Caitlin M. Lowy, high honors. Samantha L. Benedetto. Sophia M. Ritchie, honors. Courtney E. Leon, high honors. Luna Cordero, honors. Genesis Ramos Malenya, honors. Aisha C. Berjos. Sean Christopher Hood. Sitali A. Estrada. Gabriela A. Pena, high honors. Michaela A. Pena, high honors. Elliot G. Muscall. Matthew L. Stevens, honors. Jelaine M. Medina. Brendalee R. Viscano. Linda A. Valenzuela Guzman, high honors. Klesmarie Bello, honors. Adam Hart. Hansel J. Blanco Mateo.
Isaiah de Rivera, honores. Chalaya D. Diaz, altos honores. Stephanie Lizardo Vargas, honores. Naomi Registry. Blanket M. Aquaro. Mackenzie T. Bova, honors. Kathleen M. Feener, high honors. Ashley N. Javier. Najla E. Jeminian. Juliana Lisa Pineda, honores. Hajar I. Ruin. Ryan S. McManus, high honors. Joseph A. Powers, honors. Liam P. Tamulonis, high honors. Sheila J. de la Cruz. Michael J. Grassi, honors. Oliver Hernandez Abad, honores. Vaman K. Jazim. Keelan C. McManus. Lillian E. Ortiz. Owen S. Silva, high honors. Angel Almanzar, altos honores. Ryan J. Farragher, honors. Caleb Javier. Amelie R. Cujo, honors.
Michael T. Smith, honors. Vanna K. Smith, high honors. Justin A. Tapia, honors. Jose Troncoso, high honors. Christopher M. Elstrom, high honors. David A. Tavares, honors. Nicholas M. Courier, honors. Rochelle Rios de los Santos, high honors. Serafros Fu, honors. Giovanni Chavira. Matthew R. Harrison, honors. Juliet M. Joseph Ogbo, high honors. Darwin J. Marmolejoes, honors. DeAndre Graciano, honors. Robert L. Suriel Aguero. Isabella S. Puzniak, high honors. Gwyneth Z. Zucker, high honors. Emily D. Boyington, high honors. Nicholas C. Noble. Luis M. Alcantara, honors. Ania E. Poker Guman. Alejandro J. Vidal. Jose J. Hernandez, honors. Jean Hughes D. Shimbalanga. Seamus Patrick McManus.
Ebo Machegio, high honors. Cristal Vizcaino Hernandez. María T. Rojas Reyes, altos honores. Melanie Seo Ugando Tejeda, honores.
And last but not least, Samantha R. Mercedes.
Honors.
Would the class of 2026 please rise? Each of you are wearing traditional robes representing your educational journey. This includes a tassel that each of you have hanging from your cap. Having officially received your degrees, I invite you to take your tassel and move it from the right side of your cap to the left side. Congratulations, class of 2026. Would the platform party please remain standing? For all of our guests, I thank you for joining us today. Our graduates and the platform party will begin the recessional out of the tent. In order to allow a quick and organized close to today's ceremony, I ask that all of our guests, including our special guests in the first rows, please remain in their seats until all of the graduates have left the tent. Faculty and students seated on my left will exit the tent using the left aisle. Faculty and students seated on my right will exit double file down the center aisle. Once the graduates and the platform party have left the tent, all guests are invited to join us in our reception located on the lawn outside of the Spurk building to my left and enjoy some refreshments and some music performed by our talented musicians. One last thing. This afternoon, our number 7 nationally ranked Northern Essex Knights baseball team is facing Monroe University Bronx in this weekend's NJCAA District Championship just down the road at Haverhill Stadium. As they prepare to take the field, I ask all of you to join me in sending our team a great big Go Knights. So on the count of 3, I want to hear all of you say, Go Knights. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Fabulous. Go Knights. Thank you, everyone, and congratulations again to the class of 2026.